So guys, man, we got Mikey Williams just got free. Bryce James just made his junior year debut for Sierra Canyon. Y'all been seeing LeBron James going crazy in year 21, and now my boy Bronny James is officially cleared to play, guys. What a time to be alive. As you can see from the statement here, Bronny James is now cleared by his doctors for a full return to basketball. The James family also wrote in a statement that Bronny will have a final evaluation with USC staff this week. He's going to resume practice next week, and he's going to be returning to games soon after that. The James family would like to express their gratitude to the incredible medical team, to the entire USC staff, community, and especially JuiceMadeHoops, man. If you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? And the countless friends, family, and fans for their love and support. Fight on. Guys, like I said, we got to clap it up. I'm just glad that Bronny is fine. You know, anytime when you go through something serious like this, it's really not a joking manner, so you really have to take your time. I know people is going to say, oh, he needs to come back, but health and family comes before anything, so let's just pray nothing like this ever happens again, and Bronny James will be fine for this coming season. Now, I know Bronny James is arguably the most watched, he essentially has the biggest spotlight on him over any athlete, whether it's college, whether it's high school, or wherever it may be. And I say all that to say that I really don't want people expecting something out of Bronny that's just not realistic, especially in his freshman campaign. I really don't want people expecting Bronny James to come out in his freshman year to just come out there to start averaging 20 points a game. People need to understand that Bronny James has never been that type of player, whether it's middle school, high school, and even now in college. Bronny James has always been a player that excels playing off the ball. He's a reliable catch and shoot 3-point shooter. He can play from the perimeter. Great slasher. He'll occasionally make those plays or highlight plays where he'll get an emphatic dunk to get the whole crowd jumping. He tends to make key stops on the defensive end. He's just a guy that can do a lot of great things on the floor. And also too, I feel like people really need to understand the actual situation that he's currently in, and also what he's about to be in. Guys, this kid Bronny James is only 18 years old. He recently suffered from a cardiac arrest. I don't think you understand. This was the last thing that everybody was expecting to occur. Even him himself, the actual person that had to go through it. And he had to go through all these treatments to make sure that he was prepared to hoop again. Now he just got cleared. Now he's going to be practicing here in a few weeks, and hopefully we'll be able to see him play in some games here soon. Like, guys, I don't think you guys understand. That's a lot to overcome, and we really haven't even seen Bronny play in a legitimate basketball game in what, months? I think the last game that Bronny James played was, I think, the Nike Hoop Summit or something like that. So like I said, I say all that to say that Bronny James coming in, especially as a freshman, bro, don't expect him to just come out there to be a national player of the year, or like I said, averaging 25 points a game or anything like that. Like, he's probably going to be rusty. He might even struggle earlier on in his freshman campaign. And you guys gotta understand, like, this is a process. He's not a savvy veteran who's a fifth-year senior. He's a freshman at the end of the day. He hasn't played in a single college game. We've already seen a lot of these other guys even struggle. The DJ Wagners, the Justin Edwards, the Kwame Evans, the Bay Falls, the Xavier Bookers. There's a lot of guys out here that's really struggling. So we can't just expect a guy like Bronny James to just come out there to just be as smooth as ever and just take over college. I know I said all that, but regardless, I still actually think that Bronny James will probably be a first-round pick in this up-and-coming 2024 NBA draft. First or second round, we really don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, you still have to be realistic. This is Bronny James who we are talking about. LeBron's even mentioned that he still wants to play with Bronny whenever Bronny James is eligible to go into the draft. So I think mainly based off that and the fact that Bronny James is still a legitimate player, he's going to be a one-and-done player at the end of the day for USC. I really don't anticipate that he's going to stay a few years. Like I said, even if he wasn't LeBron's son, I still think he is good enough just based on the skill level that he has to get drafted, whether it's in the second round at the least. If he is able to play, I can see Bronny James averaging somewhere like 7 to 8 points a game, 3 rebounds, 2 assists for USC. You guys already know he already has 2 guys ahead of him, being Isaiah Kohler and Boogie Ellis. Those guys carry a huge part of the offensive load at USC. So I don't think Bronny James is really going to be out there expected to score the ball, average 15 a game. I mean, like I said, Bronny James has always been a 3-and-D type of guy that's probably going to be guarding the opposing team's best guards alongside with Kobe Johnson on the team. So I think Bronny James will have a minimal role on this team. We still don't officially know when Bronny James is going to make his USC debut, but I'm pretty sure whenever he does play in that first game, bruh, that game is going to be crazy. Everybody's going to be there. LeBron's even already mentioned that he will skip a whole Lakers game just to watch Bronny James play. So hopefully everything is smooth in Bronny James's debut. Hopefully we get to see him sooner rather than later. I anticipate probably sometime in January. Wouldn't be surprised if it was February, but regardless, I'm just happy that he's finally out there able to play basketball again. And I'm just excited that we can finally see Bronny James hoop for USC. Now, like I mentioned before, Bronny James has missed a handful of games so far for USC. I think right now, as I'm recording this video, USC is currently 5-2 on the season. And I personally would definitely say that's around the record or the performance indicators that many people had in the preseason rankings. I know USC managed to recruit the #1 player in the nation, being Isaiah Kohler, but the team as a whole still was never regarded to be a consensus top 25 team in college. I mean, apart from Bronny James, in regards to the freshmen that they bring in, like I said, they bring in Isaiah Kohler, who was the #1 player. They also brought in Arrington Page, who was the 40th ranked player, and Brandon Gardner, who was the 85th ranked player in that 23 class. Now, Isaiah Kohler, he's really been the only freshman that has made a significant impact so far for USC. Right now, it looks like he's averaging about 18 points, 4 assists on 53% shooting from the field and 42% from 3. Now, I do also have to mention that he's actually averaging about 5 turnovers a game. Not gonna lie, I might make a separate video going more in depth about Isaiah Kohler's game, but it is kind of crazy that he's averaging more turnovers than assists. I know a lot of people may be a little bit worried about Isaiah Kohler right now. I personally wouldn't say he's having a bad year. I mean, when you have a high usage rate like Isaiah Kohler, you're gonna get turnovers, but like I said, I'll probably make a separate video for that. But in regards to some other players on this team, Boogie Ellis, he's really been the main player on this team that has really taken over and has made the biggest impact in Bronny's absence. He's actually a top 20 overall scorer in college, averaging 21.5 points, 4 rebounds on 47% from the field and 48% from 3, which is crazy efficiency. I would definitely say that Boogie Ellis has been the main player that's taken the biggest leap, and he's arguably the player of the year in the Pac-12 conference, at least in this specific moment in time. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, I personally wouldn't say that this team has found their mojo just yet. They're still searching for that missing piece. They're still getting accustomed to Isaiah Kohler's lead guard type of play style. They're still learning to play with one another. But with Bronny James coming back and the type of player that he is, him being a plug and play type of guy that at the end of the day has a pretty simple game with his shooting ability and his tenacity on the defensive end, I personally think that Bronny James could be that missing piece that this USC team needs to really get over the hump. But guys, like I said, I'm just happy that Bronny James is back at the end of the day. I know for him, this has been the longest few months that he's probably ever had in his entire life. But like I said, all glory to God, man. I'm just glad that he's happy. But let me know what you guys think about this whole situation. Drop your opinions down below about your projections for Bronny James this season, and I'll see you guys in the next one.